friends. Welcome to another WSIB Truth Matters with Joe Machado on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. I hope that you had a nice long weekend. I don't know if it was raining or nice weather where you are or where you're viewing from. Here in Cambridge, we had a mixture of rain and drizzling and some sun. And anyway, but at the end of the day, it was pretty good. So anyway, it's Tuesday and we're back at it. Today I'm going to talk about a subject that I get asked quite often, actually many times over the years. So I think that this is something that could be of interest to a lot of you that are watching and may have some concerns about this particular practice of the WSIB. And that's the matter of healthcare examinations. You all know how I feel about the WSIB being involved in any medical related aspect of your claim. That hasn't changed. I think it's extremely inappropriate, unethical, and creates a significant conflict of interest. If you were in a community where there wasn't a proper infrastructure of healthcare professionals, doctors, specialists, physiotherapists, and facilities for doing diagnostic testing like MRI, CT scan, x-rays, that type of thing, then I could see where an organization would need to have that in order to be able to manage the healthcare aspect of a claim. But that's not the case in Ontario. We have a huge, sophisticated infrastructure, well managed, organized, overseen by the College of Physicians and Surgeons, a respectable organization, to provide all of this for not only injured workers, but pretty much everybody that lives in this province. So why does an insurance company to be in the business of having their own doctors? Unless they don't like what your doctors hear and want to hear something else, or want to reduce costs, their costs of what they're going to pay for treatment. That's the way I look at it. That's my opinion. It may differ from others, but I don't think anything good comes of it. However, having said that, the reality is it does exist, and the WSIB does have a role. And however much long they have that role depends on our ability to affect change on a broader scale. So working with what we have to work with, a lot of the questions that I get are answered in somewhat a straightforward manner in this policy that's right from WSIB. I'm going to post it on the screen here, and I'll read it to you and explain it in the way that I see it. So the Workplace Safety and Insurance Board and or your employer, the worker's employer, may request a healthcare examination for workers who are receiving workplace insurance benefits if it will help. Now, this is the key word here, help. If it will help the worker's early and safe return to work. Okay, so I'm assuming that your own family doctor, with all of the resources that he or she will have at their disposal, can help with that by recommending appropriate, adequate treatment for the type of illness or disease to be provided, to be managed directly, overseen by appointments regularly to see how things are progressing, your doctor could do that quite well. So, to help the worker's early and safe return to work, I think your doctor has your best interest when it comes to that. But anyway, that's one of their reasons. Another is to clarify differences in opinions between healthcare professionals. Yeah, differences in opinions are common, and generally they are clarified by having your doctor do different testing or refer you to different specialists in a particular field who will do additional testing and assessment to then be able to come to a reasonably agreed upon diagnosis based on all of that testing. I don't know how one of their doctors who could see you for 15 minutes, an hour, or even a couple hours, and clarify any of that when you have your own professionals that are seeing you doing testing can do that, but that's one of the reasons that they state. To clarify the nature of the injury, the diagnosis, if it was work-related, the level of impairment, or a worker's physical precautions. That's a mouthful, really, but it's really no different than the other two that I just talked about, right? You go to your doctor and say, listen, I was lifting something at work, I heard a pop. So the doctor will do his assessment, maybe do some x-rays, maybe refer you to an orthopedic specialist or a neurologist, or have further testing done. All of these things are being done to identify the diagnosis, to have a more conclusive, accurate diagnosis. If it was work-related, that's provided in the Form 7, the accident report. The employer provides that. The worker was lifting something, heard a pop, this is what happened. You provide that in the Form 6, and your doctor provides that in the Form 8. That's how you clarify the nature of the injury, or if it was work-related, because all of that information should be in those forms. So why a week, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, sometimes much later in the case management of your file, the WSIB will send you to somebody to miraculously come up with all these answers that your own doctors couldn't come up with? Does that make any sense to you? It doesn't make any sense to me. It never did, actually. But that's one of the reasons, one of their reasons there. And this other one, a level of impairment or the worker's physical precautions. Who's going to know that better than your own doctor? Or a physiotherapist or chiropractor, someone in the community that you refer to assess this while in the course of identifying and treating your condition. It's all there. It should all be there. And yet the WSIB feels that they have a need to fill in their own 2 cents about it. The WSIB may also request a healthcare examination if it will help the worker re-enter the labor market in a suitable employment or business. There are healthcare professionals that can provide that information, again, through your doctor, and all of the efforts to treat your injury, come up with a firm diagnosis, which will then yield physical restrictions and establish your level of impairment. And those may change. Your functional abilities may change as you are receiving treatment. But your doctor, in concert with whoever they refer you to, they're going to keep the finger on the pulse to find the best opportunity to then say, okay, you're ready to re-enter the workforce and these are your physical restrictions. They may change, but that's what it is. So, again, it can be provided and is already being provided by doctors all across this province and healthcare professionals. Get the most timely access to treatment that is possible. So after the WSIB sends you to one of their clinics, 3, 4, 5 weeks, 2 or 3 months after the fact, they're going to give you timely access to treatment? So, did your doctor go on a 6-month vacation? That he can't do that or she can't do that? I just fail to understand it. But for me to be able to truly express my opinion, and which is based on over 30 years of dealing with these people and having seen thousands of these scenarios, I need to be able to express it in a manner that makes sense to me. Because if it doesn't make sense to me, I can't explain it to you. Because it doesn't make sense. I'd look like a fool, and I don't like that. So I want to be able to express my opinion based on my experience and looking at what they've got here, what they're portraying. The employer may also request a healthcare examination if it'll help provide significant new information not already available to the employer through claim file access. All that information is in the claim file. I've rarely seen in over 30 years, I can count on this hand how many times an employer forced the issue of trying to get a medical examination. Just asinine. It just doesn't happen. But there you have it. Those are their reasons. So how does this affect you? More importantly, how does this affect your benefits? And yes, quite often, if the person, the injured party, refuses to attend one of these examinations, the WSIB threatens, in my experience, with non-cooperation and potential reduction or seizing of benefits. Seems like it's strong-arming. Is it coercion? Intimidation? All of these words come to mind because they're the ones that write the check. So if you don't do this, we will cut you off. It's pretty simple, straightforward what that means. So, and I've seen it happen. And in 90% of the cases I've handled, it gets overturned quickly, really quickly. But I've seen it happen where they throw that out there. Has it been challenged? Yes, it has been. Like I said, I have on a number of occasions. My office has. And I did look at the tribunal for a more recent decision that would speak to this issue. And so I'm going to post it on the screen here. It's a decision. It's a recent decision made on April 28th, 2023. Decision number 157822/22. And the tribunal makes reference to policy document 170103. And I'm reading from their conclusion on this particular case. And basically they identify that the boards need to manage the claim and at times obtain health information to do so is in the policy. And that workers can choose their initial healthcare provider, that is within your right, but if more treatment and assessment is required, the policy does not provide that workers are entitled to unilaterally determine at all stages of their healthcare who will provide assessments and treatment. Well, no, I don't think injured workers make that decision unilaterally. I think injured workers make that decision based on what they're being told by their own doctors. Because I believe that fundamentally, every injured worker or ill worker wants to get better as soon and as quickly as possible so that they can get back to their normal lives, of which being employed is a big part of. So I understand the tribunal's reasoning by wanting to reference that in the policy, but I don't think that that is an inherent factor with injured workers. And I don't think that it supersedes the ability of their doctors to be able to do those things. Now, they go on to state that the board retains the authority under Section 35 to request that a worker attends a healthcare examination that is necessary and appropriate. So appropriate it leaves the door wide open, because then the board would have to justify appropriate. What do they deem appropriate and why? And I'm going to touch on that on the next part of this discussion, because my tips and recommendations speak directly to this type of stuff. One way in which the board has implemented this process is by establishing specialty clinics or specialty programs, centers for expertise in certain types of injuries, such as the back and neck, to perform board-directed health assessments. I don't have a problem with the specialty clinics, because yes, there are specialty clinics out there that can yield a lot of good information and provide a lot of good recommendations when working with their doctors. What I don't find is necessary is that to perform board-directed healthcare assessments. Why should it be board-directed? WSIB can write a letter to the doctor or to the worker and say, hey, listen, we need clarification on this, this, and this. Can your doctor refer you to an organization or provide that information so we can best determine how to proceed with your claim? Simple. This whole business of performing board-directed healthcare assessments? Come on. Anyway, that's the most recent tribunal decision, which in this particular issue that was under appeal, they sided with the board. So now that you're in this predicament, if you find yourself in this predicament where the board is forcing you against your will and against your doctor's recommendations to go for an assessment, this is what I recommend you do. Again, this is based on 30 plus years of dealing with these people, with the WSIB, and knowing and understanding what works so that we could appropriately provide our client with the confidence with which to make a decision so that they knew what their rights were and how to protect themselves in the event that they were forced into something that they didn't think was appropriate and that they didn't feel comfortable in doing. So tip number 1, request in writing what is the reason for the referral. None of this blanket bullshit reasons that I just went through on that thing I had on the screen here. Tell me why you want me to go. Specifically, why is it you want me to go for this assessment? Get that in writing. They're going to balk at it. But let them know, I want to cooperate. This is me cooperating with your recommendation. I want you to tell me specifically why you're requesting this. Tip number 2, take it to your doctor. Have a meeting with your doctor. Explain to the doctor, provide that letter in writing from the WSIB, what they want, why they want it, and ask for your doctor's opinion on it. Then you decide whether to accept it or not. But get the opinion. Make it, state it, and get it in writing, and then submit it to the WSIB and get it on the record in your file in case you need it later. Tip number 3, is it something your doctor or doctors can provide? When you're meeting with your doctor and having this discussion, ask your doctor, is what they're requesting of me something that you and my healthcare professionals can provide? And can you please make that referral for me so that I can see one of them? Number 4, follow your doctor's recommendations, always. Because down the road, if the shit hits the fan, that will help you. And number 5, if you ultimately decide to cooperate, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I've stated my opinion based on many years of experience, but then again, I had many clients go ahead with an assessment, and it didn't result in any negative impact to their claim or their benefits. So I always advocate for cooperation, providing you're comfortable with it, and providing you do your due diligence so that you know going in that you're comfortable with it, because that's important. You're the injured person. And to always give up your power to somebody else is not easy. Do your due diligence, and then you do what you believe is right. And if you decide to go ahead with it, and that's fine, and you have reservations, state your reservations, have them noted, put in the file. Say, yes, I'm going to cooperate. These are my reservations, but I will cooperate. Because I don't want you to cut me off, and I want to get better. So I hope that I've helped you with these tips. It's like, the way I look at it, it's like navigating through tall grass with snakes and you don't know where they lie. Because in my opinion, if your doctor can provide you the treatment and the healthcare organizations in your community can provide you with the treatment, I don't understand why the board needs to get involved. And I only see one reason for that. And I've stated that many times. So not everybody has to agree with my opinion, but that's my opinion, and I tell it like it is, like I see it. WSIB Truth Matters with Joe Machado. Once again, friends, thank you for taking the time to listen. I know that it'll be a slow start getting back into the swing of things after a long weekend, but you'll catch up quickly. It's summer. Relax. Don't try to force anything. Just kind of go with it. I'm going to continue to provide additional information on in a wide range of subjects that I know are important to my subscribers, my viewers. And I ask you to subscribe to my channel. If you like the content that I'm portraying, I have a lot of experience that I'm offering. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything to subscribe. It helps me build the channel. My main objective, is to touch every single injured or ill worker in this province, to give them information that they need to help them make informed decisions about their claims. And please share my videos with others that you think may or could benefit from my videos. I think I'm up to 55 videos now in just over 2 months in a wide range of topics, and I've got 2 years worth of content, over 30 years of experience in this field. And I do it willingly, and I enjoy it. So I have more topics coming up this week. I'll either post on my Facebook or I'll do a short. And the other thing about becoming a subscriber is you get notified automatically anytime that I come out with a new video that may be of interest to you, so you don't miss that. So please, if you have an opportunity, click that subscribe button and share my videos. I really appreciate that, and it would help me a lot in growing this channel. I don't know if you watched my last video about the major announcement coming from WSIBsettlements.com. We're very excited about it. There's been a lot of positive feedback. Again, the 2 features that we added to our app, which is already amazing, that our members use, is we can do your kits for you. There's that option, one button on our app. We can do our settlement docs for you. Pick the ones that are important, that we believe are issues that need to be addressed in your claim. And all of that can be done in under 24 hours. and also appeal time limits. We introduced our appeal toolkit, and which is revolutionary. This doesn't exist in this industry. So whatever time limits the WSIB throws at you for appealing a decision, if you are using our system, if you're a member of WSIBsettlements.com and you have access to that appeal toolkit, you never have to worry about appeal time limits ever again. Not only that, but then you get to launch our 3-level reconsideration process, which is something the WSIB isn't expecting, because it's going to put them to work, and for once they're going to have to start justifying their decisions. So we're very excited about that. If you haven't seen that again, watch the video and go to WSIBsettlements.com. The address is on the screen here. Check it out. See if it's something that can help you. And it's for a few dollars a month. It's not expensive. It's less than a cup of coffee a day, but it's going to save you tons of headaches. And you can get a paralegal or a lawyer for that kind of money. And we also have access to our preferred legal providers, if at some point it is something that you would require in your claim. But that's after we look at it and we let you know, this is something that would require this. And you get a lawyer or paralegal that's been personally vetted by me, that has the experience, the resources, and expertise to help with your claim. So friends, thanks for listening. And again, have an amazing afternoon. Take care, friends.